There she is. Hey, I can't hear you. You gotta. I can't hear you. Okay. This is gonna be kind of crazy and very cool. So that's Evelyn. She's in Las Vegas right now, and we are live. Hi, everybody. My brother is coming on soon. Evelyn coming on. She's at the Hilton Conference in Las Vegas, and let me put her back in here. Oh, I can hear you now.
Come on in, family. This is
Hi,
Anna.
Evelyn. Hi. I can hear you and see you.
Yes, you can hear me and see me. Well, let me see.
Now I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Now I can't hear you. You took your ear out, and then I lost your audio. You have a Bluetooth? She'll come back. Hang in there, everybody, if you're watching, or if you're in Las Vegas. We're streaming live on YouTube, and there's my bro. Can I hear you?
Welcome to the party.
Okay, so we tried a couple times, and here's Evelyn back. Hold on, let me check it out, man. She's in Vegas, and okay, Evelyn, I see you, but you're on mute.
You look fantastic, Evelyn, but you're still on mute.
I can't hear you yet. I had you. I can see you. I can see you, but I can't hear you. You had your ear in, and then you took it out. If you're watching, hang in there. Evelyn is in Las Vegas at the Hilton Conference, and she's got lots of friends to say hello. She's having lots of fun. Hi, I can't hear you though.
I don't know why she's off mute, but she must have another.
You might be on a Bluetooth. There's nothing she can't figure out. She's been through other technical difficulties in her life and always figured it out. So
That's right.
I will keep her centered here.
Well, let's talk about it for the people not in the industry, aka me. What's going on in Vegas? What's happening?
She is at the annual Hilton Conference for general managers and directors of sales.
Here she is.
Well, there she is again. Let me see.
Where it's not.
Oh, sorry. You go ahead, bro. I added her to.
Can y'all hear us?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna show you. Let's walk up a little bit, y'all. Let's walk up here. So this is what's going on.
Wow, it's huge.
A lot of people there. Reporting live from Vegas. It's Evelyn Barnes-Willingham.
Evelyn, I don't think we can hear you unless you're here you go.
Hold it. Hold it to your mouth. Hold it. Hold it to your mouth, Evelyn. We can hear you better.
Okay, yes, sir. I just want to show y'all everything.
Yep.
But it's very nice out here. Very refreshing to get away and learn new things. I have Marion Sanders here. You can tell them who you are.
Marion Sanders, dual AGM, Madison, Alabama, Hilton Garden home too. It's a lot, but it's fun.
Hey, Marion.
Learning a whole lot.
Good to see you, man. Nice to meet you.
We got L from, we're gonna walk up a little bit more, y'all. We got L from Shelby here. L from
Shelby, North Carolina?
Yeah, from Shelby. From Opelika, Alabama. Opelika home 2. Yeah, this
Home to Alabama.
This conference, yes sir, War Eagle. This conference been really informative. A lot of new things coming out, a lot of interesting new changes, and revamping on some of the original procedures and processes. So it's been very informative, very enlightening, and it's interesting to see the direction that we're going. So.
Well, it's great to meet you. Make sure you make sure Evelyn has your information so we can give you a shout out and stay connected.
Absolutely.
Marion, can you hear more?
I can.
Yeah, make sure we have your information so we can give you a shout out and stay connected, Marion. Make sure
We'll do.
Barrett, what state are you in again? What's the brand in your state?
Home 2, Madison, Alabama. And
Nice, very cool. All right, we're going to get connected on LinkedIn. Make sure Evelyn adds you to the list. She's going to share everybody's name, and we'll go say hello.
We'll do, definitely.
Hey, wait a minute, we got Karina. Karina gonna tell you about it.
Uh-oh.
Okay, go ahead. Miss Karina.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Uh-oh, there she is.
Can you hear me?
Hold it.
Is somebody talking?
Yeah.
I can see them.
Yeah.
We're
We're
here.
Hi.
How's the conference feel? How does Vegas feel?
So I've been here before. Vegas is wonderful. However, this conference, aside from learning so much more, because I'm a new GM, I actually was promoted in May.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I've learned a lot. I feel very appreciated. I feel very appreciated. And if do you want me to pass this on to anyone else?
That's what it's all about. I'm Adam from Charlotte, North Carolina. That's my brother Matt up in Boston, and we're so happy that you feel appreciated, and that's what we're doing. We're just doing our best to send your appreciation and recognition for everybody and share what fun it is out there. So nice to meet you.
Congratulations on the
You as
promotion.
well. That was like the only part I heard was nice to meet you.
Thank you. I'm gonna connect with you. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I got another one here. Miss Lena. Miss Lena. She said it's fine to talk to y'all too. Who's this?
Hi, how you doing? I'm Adam from Charlotte, and that's my brother Matt. We're in the hotel and agile project management business. We have a podcast, and so you're going live to about 4 billion people right now.
Awesome. I'm part of some
Maybe 4.
podcast.
But yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wow, nice.
And you look good.
Thank you.
What brand? What is your name again? And
How?
what brand are you with? And what state are you in? What's her name again?
Lana.
With Hampton Inn.
Hi, Lana. And what brand of hotel are you with? And what
Hampton.
state are you in?
Austin,
Hampton.
Texas.
Hampton, Austin, Texas. Very cool. Well, nice to meet you. We'll keep
Nice
a
to
list
meet
and
you.
we'll say hello to you on LinkedIn. I hope the conference was great.
Yeah, it is going really great. I'll learn a lot of things. It's very beneficial to me. It's my first time actually, so I can only say good things about it.
Very
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Very
you.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Hey Adam, these ladies are camera ready. They're camera ready. I'm coming up to tables, they eating. It don't even matter. They're ready. They're ready. Let's see who else.
You're
Let's see
camera
who
ready, Evelyn. You're camera
Well,
ready.
thank you. I don't feel like I'm camera ready, but thank you. Let me see if I know
We're always
anybody.
camera ready.
Let's see. I don't think I see anybody else. The room is really
Big. Looks like our 4 billion listeners are there, bro.
I know. Yeah, they're all there in that
Mr.
one room.
Robert, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Can we bother you for a minute?
Sure.
We're on LinkedIn Live with Hospiomo.
Okay.
And we just want to know how the conference is going.
Okay.
What are you enjoying about it? That's all. And we got Hilton Corporate in the house.
Oh, no. I'm about to enjoy the food right now, so sounds good.
See?
We're going real great.
That's good. That's all I needed. Thank y'all. But it's going
How was
great.
the food there, Evelyn? How was the
The
food for
food
the
is
last few
very,
days?
very good. I mean, I could show you some of the food. Hello, how you doing?
Yeah, I like that too.
Thank you so much. Butter chicken. The food is very, well, how can I say it? It's different. It's not, it's not your regular food. We got butter chicken. We got roasted beef tenderloin.
Mm.
Rudy, how has it been hosting the Hilton conference?
Very nice.
Yeah, you got you on camera.
Very nice. Good.
Busy.
Hi, Rudy.
There's a lot of people here.
Nice people, huh?
Nice people. Yes, it is.
Nice
Yes.
people. You're very nice too.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We got roasted cauliflower and chickpeas. I mean, we got it going on.
Got it
Yeah.
all.
We got it going on.
Evelyn, what was the favorite? Did you have any highlights of? I think last night was all the big awards, wasn't it?
Yes, the award ceremony it actually was on the first day, on Tuesday. It's when they gave out the Home 2 Suites Brands Awards. Courtney, her name was Courtney White, that won GM of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. Met her in the hallway, just met her in the hallway, and just being a hospitality person, we both speak, we both talk. And she told me she was getting nominated. I said, well, you're already stage ready. She said, I don't think I'm going on stage tonight. Well, she went on stage right then. Thank you, I love yours too. She went on stage right then, but it was an honor to meet her. And it's just life, right? Life just happens. And you don't be ready, but it just happens.
Did you make any new friends
I'm
besides
making
Courtney?
new friends. These type of events are all about networking. So, I tell any new general manager or director of sales or anybody that's new here, I tell them they should network, because you never know who you may see. You never know who you may meet. You never know who can have an impact in your life. So these events are all about learning and networking.
Did you see anybody that you haven't seen in a long time?
I did. I seen my old boss, Mr. Glenn from the Full Service Hilton Memphis. Woo woo! So I seen Mr. Glenn. He was general manager. I was hotel manager there at a 498 room property. I seen some previous director of sales, previous AGMs that are now GMs, previous VP of sales that I'm really close with. I've seen a lot of people, and I've also, believe it or not, seen people that I never met, but they know me from LinkedIn. So, it's very important to talk about the having a great LinkedIn what am I looking for? Presence. Having a great LinkedIn presence, because I'm meeting people from LinkedIn that are very great people, very good people, and it's just about building connections. And LinkedIn, thank you. Thank you, LinkedIn, for allowing us to build connections with our professional friends.
And stay connected. That's how you and I met, LinkedIn.
That's
Thank
right.
you, LinkedIn.
From LinkedIn, that's correct. That's correct. Let's talk to these beautiful ladies here at the table. Hello, ladies. How are y'all? Y'all are so beautiful. No, y'all are beautiful. And I'm on LinkedIn Live with Hospiamo, and I want to feature y'all. I want to talk to you about how you're enjoying it. What's your favorite part? How does it feel to be away from work in Las Vegas? And did y'all zip line? We've been zip lining 2 days. Oh, yeah, we flew 12 stories high. 3 months. Marion, talk to them about zip lining.
Why you want me to talk about zip lining?
So,
I got a fear of heights, and she coerced me into zip lining with her on last night. It was fun.
but you know why he trusts me? We've been working together for 4 years. So he know I'm not going to lead him wrong. So last night was his first time zip lining.
I was stuck up there for 5 minutes.
Yeah, he wouldn't come down. I said, Marion, let's go. So I want to talk to y'all beautiful ladies. Well, Adam and Matt want to. Hey, Miss Vivian.
Hi,
Where are you from?
Palm Desert, California. Palm Springs, Palm Desert. Yeah.
Can y'all hear Vivian?
Yes, we can. Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Vivian and them, they are looking nice. They're looking good over here. That's how California do it. That's how California.
We work together, but they're from Texas.
It's like California and Texas. Y'all next door. Well, state-wise,
It's everywhere.
it's Texas and California, right? You're next door. It may take a long time to get there, but you know, geographical-wise on the map, you are next door. All right. Who want to say something now?
Oh, I don't know if I'm ready.
Just say hi. You don't want to do it?
I'll say hi. Hi.
Love
Hi.
it. What part of Texas?
North Texas.
Midland? Dallas?
A little north of Dallas.
Where's that?
Wichita Falls.
I don't know where that is. Do you know what Wichita Falls is?
Yes. Yeah, I do.
Yes, he does. Adam's been in hospitality since a long, long time.
Wow.
Long time.
Nice to
wanna
meet
say
you.
hi? Hi. These are the HGI people. Hilton Garden Inn. Hampton Inn. What we got, Vivian? Oh, Embassy. Okay.
Yeah, Embassy.
So how many rooms do you have?
198.
Okay. How many square feet of meat space?
6,000 square feet.
So
Meeting space.
Are you GM or DOS?
US.
Oh, so if they need rooms,
If you need rooms in the Palm Desert area, definitely contact me at the Embassy Suites Palm Desert, and I will take care of you. Just mention
green suit.
mention green soup.
We will.
Mention the home too sweet suit, the green suit. Well, Adam, I walked around. I've said hi to everybody. Let me see if I see anybody else before we, anybody else. Anybody else? I'm looking around. I'm scoping. I'm scoping.
Evelyn, you're the best. You're the best, Evelyn.
There.
You're the best.
Okay.
Go enjoy some food, Evelyn.
Anybody want to be on LinkedIn Live? Renee, can you say hi to my friends at Hospiamo? My friends at Hospiamo. You mind saying hi? This is my sister, Shelty. And she
Hi, nice to meet you.
In Springfield, Illinois.
Welcome
in
to
the capital.
What do you think? What'd you say, Adam?
Nice to meet you. In the capital of Illinois.
She is a Schulte veteran. She's been with Schulte for.
Did you have house of living in Springfield, Illinois?
Oh,
Not very fun. It's boring.
but she's right by St. Louis.
I'm between St. Louis and Chicago.
Very
Well,
nice.
it's great to meet you with the Hilton Garden Inn in Springfield.
He said, nice to meet you. He hopes to meet you at the Hilton Garden Inn Springfield.
I really hope so too.
I tried to get Daniel. He said he's too shy. Where'd Daniel go? I got these sales people here that might want to say hi, might want to sell some rooms on LinkedIn. What about sales? I'll wait till you get done. Ready?
Yep. Hi there. How are you? Stacy.
Hello.
Hi.
Springfield, Illinois. Come and see some Abraham Lincoln sites. See ya.
Love it. Thank you. Thank y'all. Well, Adam, I've made my rounds. I've been around all the tables. I'm trying to see anybody else I may know. I can keep walking if y'all want to keep talking. This is
Well,
fun.
I know that you go enjoy some lunch, and please say hi to everybody. And it's so great to be a part of your family. And thank you. Loved seeing you. And
Well,
thanks for
I love you.
everything.
I love you and Matt and all of my family at Hospiamo. John, everybody, Mark, everybody. And we're going to keep ziplining out here. That's all I've been doing, ziplining. And that's it.
Get
You
your whole
deserve
team
it.
zip
Go-
line.
go-
No more
have some
fear of
fun.
height.
I can't hear you.
Go have some fun, Evelyn. We love you.
I love y'all too. Bye-bye.
Bye, Evelyn. Thank you. All right. Oh, that was cool, man.
Wow.
So that came together just in the last hour, bro. Evelyn and I were texting a few times since she arrived in Vegas on, I think, Monday, and she's been trying to do that each day, and she hasn't been able to. There's a lot going on there. So what that was and what that is, has to do with the two other interviews that I posted earlier this week with Mark Alvarez with Rains Hospitality and David Norman, who worked for some management companies, and then he was working with Hilton Corporate for a little while, and he now just received a great promotion within another company to run multiple hotels. And so, they call it the Focused Services and All Suites Annual Conference, which is Hilton as an umbrella brand like Marriott, right? Hilton has, I want to say, like over 20 brands within the Hilton brand.
Okay.
So this is the annual conference where all of the corporate leaders of management companies, the corporate leaders at Hilton, and all of the hotel general managers and directors of sales at all of those focused services and all suite properties in the United States, maybe even internationally, are there. So there's about 12, I heard 12 to 15,000 people.
Wow.
And these are all of the Hampton Inns. So to give you some perspective, these are Hampton Inns. Hampton Inn has over 2,000 properties. So you think 2,000 general managers, 2,000 directors of sales. And then this is Hilton Garden Inn. I'm going off of memory now. So, and this is also Home2 Suites and the True by Hilton brand. The Homewood Suites.
Yep.
And then it includes Embassy Suites. And so if I mentioned Hilton Garden Inn also.
Yep.
And so it is and I might be missing a couple of them. And as you know, I'm affiliated with one of the new brands of Hilton called Spark by Hilton.
Yep.
And so there's not any of those yet, but there will be many, many, many more to come. So that's like extended stay type of a brand within Hilton. So yeah, it is what it sparked, bro, is the topic of celebrating and being together, managing hotels. And my message throughout all of this, when I get wordy, it all has to do with expressing to the world that may not be affiliated directly with managing hotels, but the reality of it is that 90% of the time it is motivating, it is inspiring, it is fun. You're leading teams of people, you're meeting people from around the world. And then 10% of the time, maybe 20% of the time, yeah, you got to deal with some administrative stuff. You got to deal with anything that might happen with an emergency in any building. But if you have 100 guest rooms, that means you have 100 houses above you, and you got to keep them safe and secure.
Yep.
And there is some of the days, definitely not all of the days, they're long. Sometimes you have to spend some time doing those administrative, strategic type things, managing a full profit and loss statement from top to bottom. But at the end of the day, it's all encompassing. A lot of times when you're there in the field, working and grinding and working hard, managing teams, particularly at a hotel with 100 rooms occupied above you, it's very stressful. You have to keep them safe. You have random requests. You have emergency situations. But these conferences that happen, this is just Hilton, right? So, and that's just the Focus brand. So Hilton and Marriott in particular, they have never relaxed their requirements to have franchisees budget and commit to sending and paying for their general managers and directors of sales to these annual conferences. And so that's where Evelyn was. She's in Las Vegas. It is all of those people. So she's seeing people. She's been with Hilton for like 6 or 7 years, and then she was with Marriott for 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
And so she's been going to these conferences the same way that I did back when I was a general manager and salesperson and regional person. these are so much fun, bro. And these are people that are in the business of serving others, and they go there and they are being served. So they're also learning. They're also reconnecting with friends that they haven't seen in a long time, and they look forward to it months in advance. Months.
Is it a whole week?
It's usually 3 to 5 days. So yeah, you arrive on, and they're probably going to leave tomorrow on Friday.
Yep, that's fantastic. Like Monday to Friday. Wow, that is so great.
And so that was the topic of this week, bro. And that's we always talk about being an entrepreneur. We always talk about just managing our day-to-day life, and the topic of celebrating and being around people and recognition and just getting away, like taking a break, an extended break, and it's planned and you have something to look for. It got very psychological for me because I went back into my own memory of my first GM conference. The first time I was a GM was with BF Saul. They gave me my first opportunity to be a hotel general manager, and it was with a Hampton Inn, and it was with a Hilton brand. And I went to Memphis. That's where their headquarters are, or were. It was can't remember. I think it was an annual type. It was like a training, and it was also an annual conference. And bro, I'm still in contact with like almost every one of them that I met during that time, because I wrote down their name, and then LinkedIn popped up about 2 or 3 years after that. And I was able to look them up and stay connected. So yeah, that's the big, topic that I've been really focusing on this week.
Let's talk about community related to that, bro, because what I hear from all of what you just shared is you got a number of these individuals who are like-minded, they're driven, they're passionate, they're leading their own organizations at each of these properties, basically. And there's a lot of psychological and other emotional and even physical benefits that they get from leaving their home base and going to a shared collective experience where they can have community with others and share their common challenges, successes, emotions, whatever, right? They can relate to others because they're a little bit, to me, maybe I'm wrong, but it sounds like they're a little bit isolated throughout most of the year. And then when they go to this event, they're all together, brothers, sisters. They're like, wow, we're doing the same thing. We're physically on our own most of the year, and now we can be physically together, right? So it's that community approach. I'd imagine there's a good sense of community out there.
Yeah, there is. And so if you, to your analogy there, I guess, each hotel, or like Evelyn, take Evelyn, for example, right? So Evelyn is a community within herself at that one hotel, right? So she has her team, and that's her community, and they're, we could say they're isolated, but they're one hotel in Alabama.
Yeah.
And in most of these other markets, like her market, she has probably 4 or 5 other Hilton brands in her market, and then 4 or 5 other Marriotts, and then a bunch of other brands and other hotels. So that extends the community a little bit. So if Evelyn becomes friend with another manager at another hotel, that's why a lot of what we talk about is the intense, massive benefit of collaboration, not competition. In our business, because if you look at our business like a collaborative effort, everyone rises, right? It's our business. I've been very open about that. It has become very competitive and very siloed. So within the management companies that, like, Evelyn works for her hotel, but it's owned by one individual or company, and it's managed by another company. And so there's these 2 silos that exist, and she's in the middle. And so, yeah, leaving it and going to Las Vegas, for example, she is able to connect with thousands or hundreds at least of other little communities of people that lead teams in different markets. So just like she just introduced us to, she met new people from Austin, Texas that she never knew before. And they're in sales and they're in operations. And we know Evelyn. I mean, people in our business, and Evelyn's excellent at it. She's going to get their names. She's going to stay connected. She's going to say like, hey, I met you when we were on the, LinkedIn Live the other day,
Yeah.
and 10 years later, maybe they start working together. You never know.
Yeah.
So yeah, the benefit of community, I think what you're, or the value of it too. So what is the example in not just agile management, but the world? I would imagine that in software development, it must be even more isolated because it's even more competitive.
Yeah, and it's one analogy I would put out there, because I think about this a lot. It's the people who I interact with most and help most in our industry are the people who are probably like you, people who are very driven, passionate. They want to go to the next place in their career path, right? They want to go. They're not just showing up to their job for a paycheck. They're like, hey, I want to make a difference. I want to make an impact, and I want to level up my career in the next year, right? What do I got to do? So these are the people that, and this relates to your question. So outside of the workplace, after their 8 hours or 10 hours or whatever of work, they have to think about, how can I improve? How can I get better with my mindset? What can I plug into? What communities local in my area? Like in my area here, we have Agile Boston. We have another one that has a different name to it. I forget right now, but there's several different Agile communities of practice, of people who are just, they bounce around. It's like a very mini version of what you're showing, or what we just showed there in Vegas. But I asked the question in interviews a lot. I was like, how do you get better? How do you learn? And continuous improvement is a big mantra within our agile space. You have to personally and professionally always be continuously improving. You got to help your team continuously improve, your organization continuously improve. That relates to all of the mindset of agile. You got to be able to adapt to change. You got to be continuously improving, getting better, etc. So I asked the question, how do you improve yourself? What do you do? What do you plug into outside of the workplace? And usually the answers are, I plug into my local agile community. I go there once a month, network with some people, share some different ideas, learn about different certification programs and different books, movies, etc., whatever, things like that. Because there's a lot of things that happen, for you, for Evelyn, for me, for everybody who's advancing their career and their life every year. You're plugged into a lot of things 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? It's not just your work day. So that's what I would say. The community is oftentimes, just like here, it's outside the workplace, and you got to plug in. It could be a LinkedIn group where you're going on a webinar, right? It could be something like this where they become part of this podcast series, and they're plugged into us, right? So they become part of this shared community, micro communities, and that's how they learn things. That's how they get better.
I think it's I'm trying to think of the reasons that people, and I'll speak for myself, the reasons in my past that I have not gone to conferences or joined networking, even if it's local, wherever I am. I think some of it has to do with the lack of an initial connection, call it, maybe. Like you're going into a brand new environment. Let's say I'm a really accomplished agile manager or a hotel manager, and I got an idea. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to go do different things. And there's a massive amount of networking events, right? I mean, that's just before and then after the pandemic. One, deciding which one to engage with. It's almost like speed dating. You never know what you're going to get. But two, sometimes they come at a cost. And that somebody might not have, even if it's $25. Three, the time that it takes. Sometimes, if you're a family person, you got kids, you got other engagements, and you have to explain to your spouse or your partner or whomever and say, hey, I'm going to go to an industry event and it's going to be a couple hours. Well, what are we going to do for dinner? Like, you're the one that cooks, or you're the, what I mean? So there are reasons that people don't do it. And the other one major reason to, this Vegas thing that's happening is the fact that, I'll be honest, if if the brands like Hilton and Marriott didn't require it, 12,000 people wouldn't be there. They
Oh, yeah.
just wouldn't. It would not be. It would find its way not to be budgeted because
Yep.
it's not because there's any ill will or bad people around. It just sometimes if it's not required, the conversation goes down. You know, do we afford it? You know, what are the benefits?
Yep.
And so like I know for a fact that Evelyn is probably not having much out of pocket cost to her,
Yep.
being there, right? And I'm only speaking, she might, I don't know, but I'm speaking from my own experience. And so it was so cool to be able to, even as a young manager, get a ticket that's paid for by my company.
Yeah. Big
And
deal.
I go to the airport and I'm feeling like a VIP and I'm feeling really important in that. And then I arrive and it says welcome Hilton or welcome, Marriott or whoever. And you're like, wow, I'm here and I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be there. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not entering an environment where I might just be checking it out.
Yep.
And so I think, what we're doing here is, with our podcast, we are creating a sense of belonging. And uh, I would like to believe that some of the people that Evelyn, for example, meets there, she's able to refer back to be like, hey, and she can increase her community,
Yep.
right? She can expand her community outside of her, which she already has, but outside of Alabama to people in Texas and California and
Yep.
Illinois, where they were. And management companies are excellent at that because management companies, I know the one that she works for, and they're based in Pennsylvania. That's where their headquarters are, but they
Yep.
have hotels all over the United States. And so, similar to Mark Alvarez, who I'll run a quick clip here because I have it ready, but with Rains Hospitality, who was on our show a few weeks ago, he said he has 30 people at the Hilton conference.
Nice. That's awesome.
30. And it's so cool because it just takes that. I love how you said community because so he has 30 little communities there, and they're able to see, sorry, an itch. So they're able to see corporate members like HR people from the corporate from his company that they never see in person. And so they
Right.
send the HR person and then they're able to connect, be like, hey, we've spoken 15 times but never met in person.
Yep.
Even David Norman, who I interviewed, who I mentioned there, so he was with Hilton he's in Charlotte and I have not seen him since 2018.
Wow.
And so we've stayed in touch. He used to be a director of sales for a couple really beautiful hotels here in Charlotte. We met, stayed in touch. He's been promoted like 50 times since then. He's such a wonderful leader. But sure, COVID happened. We used to go out and get coffee every once in a while. I would visit his hotel, but really we haven't seen each other for like 5 years. And it took this conference that neither of us were at, right?
Yeah.
I'm not there. He's not there. We talked about it for 15 minutes and recorded it, put it online, and we talked about the conference happening. And then people that were there sent me a text to say, hey, I'm here. Are you there? Right. And I was like, no, I'm not here, but talk to this person and that person. So yeah, it's a really powerful thing that I want to give a shout out to Hilton, because it's their conference and it's really, I'm so glad that they've committed to staying true and requiring people to be there because I'll say requiring, it's a standard.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a brand standard as a franchisee to send your managers to these annual conferences, and they have to be budgeted. And so I don't want to use the word requirement, but it's part of the brand agreement, and they have very high standards, right? So they say, we're doing this in Las Vegas and at great expense. And you saw the size of that room. That's, imagine serving 12,000 people
Yeah.
every 3 times a day, for 5 days straight, and they're all hotel and hospitality people that know food.
Yeah.
And so the eyes and all the
Watching
judgments are there. So, it's a really wonderful thing. And I got a lot of friends at Hilton, and I'm so proud to be able to say their name a lot, because it's by the sound of it, it all went really well this week. And I want to say it's Marriott's similar conference is coming up very soon, so we'll probably do the same thing with them, because I have history and friends with them too, and along with the other brands. But the Marriott and Hilton have really made it an impact in my personal career and life, because a lot of it has to do with these conferences, man. And they're so much fun, and they're the technology also,
Yeah.
and what next year looks like in the industry. They always spend a lot of time talking about what's next in the industry, what's next with technology, and it goes much deeper than just what you might find online that says robots are taking over the hospitality industry. Everyone's losing their jobs because they're going to have robot vacuums.
Yeah.
That's not the reality of it. And so you go there and you see all of it. So yeah, I think the whole topic of just what you and I always talk about on this, we always talk about cliches, and like overused words. One word that is overused, I think, and it's lost its meaning, is networking.
Yep. You're right.
You agree? Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's coming. I'll make a comment on that too, because I think you brought up something important. With the people, Evelyn and all the other people, the 12,000 people out there, they get the benefit of being out there, right? They don't have to pay for it. They get the financial benefit of being out there, being on a trip. That's fantastic. But that's at an opportunity cost to themselves, because their families are back home. Their lives are back home. Family, friends, cats, dogs, everything. And that's an opportunity, and that's a sacrifice. And you brought up a good point. If there's a monthly meetup in your area, but you got a family and you got some young kids, you may not be going to that monthly meetup that often, because you got a life outside work. You're already working enough hours as it is. And that's why one of the things I've seen really accelerate since the pandemic started is doing things in a creative, very time efficient way, all via Zoom, like we're doing here with StreamYard. But you get on one of my coaches, who's brilliant, does this, and he's based in Ireland, but he does an international meetup of people, and he's a master networker, to use that term. But he brings everybody together, and it's a very short period of time that they're together. No one has to leave their homes, right? Because they're all on Zoom. But that's a very effective one. There's a lot of ineffective ones where people go, like you say, you show up, you don't know how valuable it's going to be. It takes a while. I've been on some of the larger networking, without naming any names, some of the larger networking organizations where they have all of the lead sharing and meetups and things like that they do. And some of those are just very dry, and they take like 90 minutes or 2 hours, and there's not really a lot of value exchange or relationship building happening. So the ones that really work are worth it, and they're very time efficient. But the ones that don't are just like, oh, I'm not going back to that one again.
That's why I think you were saying that from the very start when we started this podcast or weekly live event, because by doing it consistently, people can know what to expect, but also keeping it timely.
Yeah.
We had a couple go, one went an hour and 40 minutes. But I've also not become very good yet, but I want to maybe make that as my next goal, to become good at clipping them into 30-second pieces, but also shorter, like maybe 10-minute ones, the ones that maybe last a long time. So you're right, because I've been a member of some of those groups too, and I think they're also, I don't know if this is it, but the ones that I don't continue the relationship, right? The groups are transactional in nature.
Yeah.
They're like you said, lead generating, and that could be wonderful. But then somebody gets a referral fee, and then you get contacted by somebody within the group, and it takes away from that genuine curiosity to be like, hey, I saw you on that StreamYard, whatever, Zoom, or that group that we were in, and I just wanted to say hello. I think I liked what you said.
Yeah.
And You look like you're in, you said you're in hospitality, and and I'm not. I'm very curious about that. What's your life like? If I think that there's some sort of transaction that person's seeking, human nature, I might be like, he's just going to try to sell me something,
Yeah.
and I, I might be wrong. I might, you know what I mean? I might be wrong, and so I really do like what we're doing. There's no transactions involved. There
Yeah.
is no, really what we're focused on is doing what we just did there, because I think it is a thing of beauty, that is developed over time by sharing knowledge, by knocking down barriers of what people perceive as competitiveness. um I always lean, I get sucked into that. I'm competitive in my mindset, but I'm also a bit protective, and so I've trained myself to be more open and less protective of my relationships, right? And so, and I think I think networking and having those events that are not tied to something, right, is always a very good thing. So if it's okay to charge money, but it's like, um, I don't really love the idea of creating a new relationship based on a transaction. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does. It does. And I think the master, like the gentleman I mentioned, one of my coaches who's really good at this, he is and the best relationship builders, the best I guess business connectors out there that I've seen, they're in it for the long game. They're in it, they develop the relationship between themselves and others and others and others. They're connecting people, right? All this is happening almost like marinating a soup for years sometimes. And then, and a year down the road, it's like, hey, I think this pea should meet this carrot, right? In the soup. And then the meeting happens, and because you have this shared trust and relationship and stuff built, all of a sudden, boom. And then like a multi-million-dollar company shoots out of that. And it's like, whoa, where did that come from? And it wasn't like first meeting, you guys meet because your resumes look good and you guys should connect together, do business. It's not like that. It's like, let's marinate for a while. Let's get to know each other. Let's trust each other. Let's talk. And that happens for a while. And if you're really good at that, and Evelyn seems very good at that type of thing, right? She remembers the people, and she was here, she was there, these people on her team, and these people she's recruiting into her organization, right? She's very, very good with people and places and faces. When you do that, you can succeed in the long term. You can help a lot of other people succeed in the long term. It's not about an overnight win. You get the overnight wins, but they're like a year down the road. You got to like take your time.
I think that's yeah, and a lot of looking back, I've been this conference and a lot of the conversations I've been having this week has gotten me very nostalgic. Maybe not nostalgic, but just thinking of you know this, but for the benefit of people listening, I was first promoted as a manager in hotels when I was 20 years old.
Yep.
Right. So when I say that I am almost 30 years in the business, I'm almost 50, and I it's
You're not nice.
it's it's not, I'm not bragging, but I was and also when I say thrown to the wolves, there was nothing anybody could have done to prepare me in order to know what to expect, to be a good manager, to be a good leader. I had to learn as I went, right? So what you just said over the first probably 10 years of my career was the advice that people that had 20 or 30 years experience would always give me. They told me, just be patient. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yep.
And be patient. And I took that very early in my career as that person doesn't want me to grow as fast as I want to grow. I took it as you're trying to push me down. I didn't have those words, but I mean, I took that a little bit, even if it was coming from a mentor. I didn't want to be patient, but, and I wasn't, I mean, I tried some things in my life and career that would be like, why did you do that? That was very impatient. Like that was very, what's the word? Impulsive, right? I see a job that I want and I go after it and I apply for it and I put my everything into it and then I get it. and then I move,
Yeah.
and then I, pack up my stuff, and I'm there in 2 weeks, and I do it. Eh, It was I'm glad that I did it, but I was very impatient. I was
Yeah.
wanting to move a little bit fast, and so we do go back. I think LinkedIn is a really. I'm glad that Evelyn mentioned it too, because, and I'm glad that we do this on LinkedIn Live. And shout out to LinkedIn, because it transformed what I thought I was capable of doing in my life in the hospitality industry, in hotels,
Yeah.
because I have I kept coming back. I kept coming back to the table. I am eh, I don't need to force myself to do this, but I am very engaging on LinkedIn. I'll respond to things. I'll send somebody a happy birthday message. I'll make a post, and I'll mention somebody that I haven't even thought of for so long, but I'll put their name on there to be like, "Hey, I just want to say I was thinking about this person," and I think the word that keeps popping up, bro, when you were bringing up networking, and then Evelyn, is generosity.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of being protective, which what I found myself to be a little bit. So it's Evelyn mentioning Hospiamo there. She's like, this is I'm on live with Hospiamo. She did not need to do that,
Yeah.
right? She didn't. She is very generous, and she's very strategic. She knows she's part of our family.
Yeah.
She knows I'm there for her, and that's very good and smart. And so the idea of being generous with your network, and being very generous with your friendships and your knowledge, right? I think a big mistake people make is that thinking that they share a network, or they share knowledge, makes them look weak, and it's the
Yeah.
opposite, right?
Yep. It's true. It's true.
So we can start to finish up here, bro. I know you have a hard stop pretty soon. What would you say that the topic is here? What is the overarching theme of what we just talked about? What is
Yeah, it's a few things. I mean, I keep coming back to the community side of it. What I mean by community
Yeah.
is human to human connection. I've been using that human word for like the last 5+ years now on purpose, because
Hmm.
it used to sound like very scientific. Like, why would you call someone a human, right? That sounds more like you're an observer, a scientist or something. But everything's so digital now, bro, that human to human connection, and maybe that's a better way to phrase it, is what I see as the theme of what we've been talking about, and what everyone's experiencing out, and what everyone's experiencing out in Vegas, is a human to human connection across thousands of people. And that's a different dynamic. That's a different way that we consume the food of relationships when it's human to human. Even like this, me and you live on a digital platform, we're still human to human connecting, and it's very different than sending a text message and then another text message an hour later or whatever. This human to human, real live connection, I think, is a really important aspect of our species, and it's really important to have the ability to partake in that. And that's what I think is a real benefit for Evelyn and everybody out there, and for the folks that we're engaging with on this podcast.
It's intentional, right?
Yeah.
It's not only the brand, but it's these people and these owners of hotels, and in that example, management companies committing to it, and they're intentional about it, because they do really understand that, of the human to human connection and the value of it, right? It's
Yeah.
one thing that, maybe it's a topic for another episode too, but I've for the past year, I've shared this with you, but the past year I've done a lot of research into the word capital,
Mhm.
right? And what the perceptions are. So I've asked a lot of people what their view of capital is, and it's like 99% they think it's financial capital.
Yep.
It's money, and capital. And there's actually seven, and I'll go off memory here. There's seven types of capital. There is financial, political, um, natural, So I'll give an example. Financial money, you know, political, which is governmental, navigating your way through governmental processes and political nature, and that's political capital. Understanding laws, you know, things like that. There's natural capital, which is has to do with energy, and you know the natural earth environmental. There's physical capital, which is, you know, pencils that you own, all the
Yeah.
way up to buildings and land, and you know, a cell phone, whatever that might be. And then the other two are the other three are human, intellectual, and social.
Mm.
So the human capital is the company that employs humans,
Yeah.
right? And their human capital can either be valuable or not so valuable.
Yeah.
Has to do with retention,
Yeah.
right? And turnover.
Yeah.
And then the intellectual capital, we all know what that is. That's what you know. And then there's the social capital. So I've been spending most of my time on that social capital piece, and that is what you just brought up, and we can finish up here. Because you brought up community and human to human interaction. That is the social capital that. And I just said this, and you know, and everyone watching this knows, I don't say this because I'm trying to puff my pillow. I feel like I'm social capital rich. I am a wealthy social capitalist,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because I know that the people that I work with, or the people that I know, if they want to know something about something, and it's something that if somebody wants to design a pool in their backyard,
Yeah.
you know, they want to start, and I've never done that, but if they call me within about a minute or two, I'll connect them with someone that I know that has done that, because that person that I know, I've known for a lot of years, and I've stayed engaged with that person, and that person trusts me,
Yes.
and I trust that person. And so we're extending all that. And so you think about that social capital. Evelyn is socially capital rich. She is very wealthy in social capital. And you can tell, right?
Yeah.
And so now there's a battle sometimes between the financial capital and the social capital, because if somebody's socially capital rich, does that mean, I mean, it's a question for another day. I have my opinions, but does that mean that they should be paid more in salary than someone who's not as socially capital rich? It's a great topic. It's a
Yeah.
great question.
Yeah.
Does that mean that that person should be able to get better insurance? I have my opinions on that too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's a community. And when you have your own community, you have your own family tree of people, and you have your own ancestors, you've got your own family, you know, and that's, you build your community and your social, it all has to do with trust. And if you're not going to have a very large network of people if they don't trust you, you know,
Yeah.
that's the long game that you're saying. So to tie it back to, that's
It
the
is.
long strategic, you know, the long game, because it takes it can happen quick. You know, I'm coaching somebody right now who's 22 years old, and he was like me when I was 22. He wants to move fast, and he's brilliant, but he's not as socially capital rich, right?
Yep.
He's working on that, and so that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's good. And you're right. Trust is a key word. I was interviewed for a podcast by a senior leader in the lean and agile space from India, from Mumbai this morning. And we summarized the interview, which talked a lot about relationships with that word. He brought that word in. After I talked about relationships, he said, yeah, I imagine the word trust is really important for building and strengthening these relationships over time. And I fully agreed. And we discussed that for a little bit, but it's interesting. You brought up the same word. Trust is really what it's about between the humans to make that connection work. It's that trust, right?
Yeah, that's the work, right? That's the work and the sweat that goes into it, and it's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Sometimes the trust is broken, you can rebuild it. Sometimes you can't.
Yep. But that's what you're looking for in the beginning. to start to open the relationship and strengthen it. You're really looking to get that trust established.
All right. So, bro, it's time for us to say goodbye to our millions of fans out there in the world. Thank you for watching. Shout out to my bro and Agile Game Changers. If you don't know when we say agile or agile in management and leadership, just go to agilegamechangers.com. Connect with my brother. He is the leader of leaders in that world. If you don't know about the hotel or hospitality industry, I'm an open book. You can contact me at hospiamo.com. We're after 15 episodes, bro, we are keep coming back to this table here, and our worlds are beautifully colliding, you know, every single week. And so if you want to know about these worlds, come and visit every Thursday. And we do this more often and even short little bursts. And so, yeah, thanks for watching and listening. And I always avoid looking at the camera. You know, I feel weird. I don't even know what that is. And so, but thank you, everybody. Yeah, we'll get going. We did it in an hour, bro. I love you.
All right. Love you too. Have a good day. Let's go get them. More to come later.
Let's go get them. See you later. Thanks.
All right.